Hi everyone. In this video, we will graph logarithmic functions. Graph y equals log base 1/5 of x. Let's go ahead and switch this around just a little bit by putting equals y over here. This helps us to rewrite this as an exponential function using our mnemonic that helps us go in a counterclockwise circle so that we get 1/5 raised to the y equals x. This will help us make a t-chart so that we can graph our function. Typically, when making a t-chart of x and y, we will pick the x and solve for the y. However, in this case, it'll be much easier to solve or to pick the y and solve for the x. So let's go ahead and pick a couple of values, such as -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then we'll solve for the x value. So we end up with 1/5 being raised to the -2, and this equals x. A negative exponent says that it's on the wrong side of the fraction bar, so this will be flipped upside down, making it 5/1, being raised to, now that they're on the right side, the +2. Now that it's a positive exponent, we'll do 5 divided by 1, which is 5, and then we have 5 squared, which is 25. So 25 equals x when y equals -2. Now let's try the next one, -1. 1/5 raised to the -1 and solve for x. Again, the negative indicates that they're on the wrong side of the fraction bar, so we'll switch both of them, giving us 5/1, and now that they're on the right spots, this becomes a +1. 5 divided by 1 is 5. 5 raised to the 1 is also 5. So x equals 5 when y equals -1. So this is 5, the ordered pair 5, -1. Now let's go ahead and substitute 0 in. So we have 1/5 raised to the 0 equals x. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1, even fractions. So we end up with the point 1, 0. Now we can try 1. 1/5 raised to the first power is just 1/5. So we have the ordered pair 1/5 and 1. And then with the 2, we have 1/5 squared. We'll square the numerator and the denominator, which gives us 1 squared, which is 1, and 5 squared is 25, and this equals x. So we have 1/25 and 2 as our last ordered pair. Now, some of these are going to be a little impossible to plot on our graph, so I'm going to pick the most reasonable ones. Since this graph won't go all the way down to 25, we're not going to graph this first one, but we can graph the 5, -1. So we'll move 5 in the direction of the x values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1 in the y, and there's our first point. Now we have another one at 1, 0, so we'll move 1 in the x direction and 0 in the y. Then 1/5 and 1. Again, this one's going to be a little difficult, but we'll try it. 1/5 and 1 is going to be somewhere around there, as close as we can get it. And 1/25 is going to be even more difficult. It's going to be even closer. And so this is what we're going to connect all of our points. If I'd done 25 and -2, I'd be clear out here, and then I'm going to connect them into here. And again, I'm going to get closer and closer, making smaller and smaller fractions, but I'll never actually get to the y-axis. So there's our graph of our logarithmic function of log base 1/5 of x, and we're all done.